Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear students of class 12th. Today our topic in general English is Sunrise. It is a poem by Padma Sachdev. Padma Sachdev is a poetess. She is a leading poetess of Dogri, born in 19 born in 1940 born in 1940 in a family of Sanskrit scholars. She admits of no influence, uh, save that of folk songs in her poetry. But this is what gives her poetry its typical earthy flavor. While her Sanskrit later background lends it a vibrancy, she is the recipient of many honors, including the Sahitya Academy Award in 1971. This poem, written by Padma Sachdev, is translated by Karan Singh. By Dr. Karan Singh. In this poem, the poetess tries to make the readers understand. It is better to be free from old baseless thoughts and conventions, or love and sympathy for school-going children, or the clouds of ignorance will be removed by the light of knowledge, or it is based on the theme better late than never, or there is no particular time for sunrise, though there are fixed times for jobs, but sunrise has no fixed time. Likewise, if a person wishes to acquire knowledge, there is no fixed time. There is no fixed time. Dear students, before starting the poem, let us attempt this reading activity. Here, mythologies. Here, most mythologies describe the sun as omnipotent. Omnipotent means muqtadara, qudrat wala. Or sun is described as a god riding across the skies in his golden chariot. Sun is called by various names. Now our job is to complete the following table. Here we are given name Aditya, Apollo, Helios, and Ra. We have to fill up the mythologies. In which mythologies? For example, Aditya, it is it is in Hindu mythology. Likewise, Apollo in Roman mythology. Helios in Greek mythology, and Ra in Egypt. Now we have to give the names of the vehicles he rides. Sun god, in which vehicles he rides, according to specific mythology. Aditya, according to Hindu mythology, it rides on the chariot drawn by 7 bay horses. Likewise, Apollo, according to Roman mythology, it rides on the chariot drawn by 4 white horses. Likewise, Helios, according to Greek mythology, rides on chariot drawn by 4 white horses. Likewise, Ra, according to Egyptian mythology, it rides on Minji's boat or the back of millions of years. These are the names of sun god according to different mythology and the names of and the vehicles he rides. Now, dear students, Now, dear students, let us try to understand the poem. Hope you allow me to read it aloud for you. We have here to see how Padma Sachdev described sunrise. Uh, the sun was descending like a cataract in the eye of the sky. The rain was constantly splashing against the sky, washing it so that it began to look drenched and forlorn, and it was thundering in anger. The sun, seizing the opportunity, pushed the clouds away and crept out like a schoolboy quickly entering and cowering at the back of the class and to evade attention of the angry schoolmaster. Slowly the pale sun began to turn yellow, and with that its light scattered in all directions. Sweeping, seeing the light, the schoolmaster asked, "Where have you been all this while? Was your slate not clean, or did you not get enough to eat? Is this the time for the sun to rise?" By now the sun was shining in all its splendor. It answered proudly, "What is the point of getting annoyed? There is no set time for the sun to rise. Whenever it rises, that is sunrise." Yes, dear students, let us try to understand. The sun was descending like a cataract in the eye of the sky. सूरज जो था सूरज जो था ये क्या कर रहा था? It was setting. It was going to set, or it was coming down like a cataract. Cataract is a disease of eye in which things are not seen correctly or clearly. In Urdu, it is called motiabind. Actually, a jelly is formed on the eye lens, and the person suffering from cataract is not able to see, like a cataract in the eye of the sky. Sun was descending, sun was coming down, going to set like a cataract की तरह in the eye of the sky. In the eye of the sky means as the sky looks it, या किसकी नजरों में? आसमान की नजरों में. Here this sun, here this sun, it is personified. It is used instead of a schoolboy. Likewise, sky is personified. It is used instead of a school master. The rain was constantly splashing against the sky. बारिश लगातार गिर रही थी. आसमान ऊपर है और बारिश नीचे जा रही थी, इसलिए against the sky. Washing it, it was washing it. The rain was washing the sky so that it began to look drenched. तो ये कैसे दिखाई देने लगा? Drenched means soaked, wet or damp, and forlorn. Oh, it began to look lonely, and it was thundering in anger, and it was in and the sky, it was making noise to show its anger, to show its anger. Oh, for example, the sun is compared to a cataract because it is not clear and is covered by clouds. Covered by clouds. Likewise, why was the sky thundering? Who is angry? Who was angry with it? The sky was angry with the sun coming out of the clouds slowly. So the sky was angry with the sun. What does the poet compare the sun to it as it comes out from behind the clouds? Yes, it is compared to schoolboy. It is compared to schoolboy who reaches the school who reaches the school late, who reaches school late. Now next stanza, the sun seizing the opportunity. Now the sun, it seizing means catching or taking the chance. Dear students, I forgot to tell you, the sun was descending like a cataract in the eye of the sky. Here you see a simile, the word like is used. Descending of the sun is compared to cataract of human eye. Yes, the sun seizing the opportunity pushed the clouds away. It crept out like a schoolboy, quickly entering and covering at the back of the class to evade attention of the angry school master. Here you see the sun seizing the opportunity. In this line we see there is alliteration used. As sound is used. The sun seizing the opportunity. Here you see the sun seizing. So here it is alliteration. Oh, pushed the clouds away. सूरज ने चांस लिया, उसने क्लाउड्स को पीछे छोड़ा. And crept out means came out, it came out like a school boy, एक school boy की तरह, quickly entering, जो जल्दी जल्दी दाखिल होता है क्लास में. And covering, covering, covering at the back of the class. Covering means shrinking in fear, खौफ की वजह से वो सिकुड़ जाता है. कहाँ पे? At the back of the class, class के पीछे. Here again illustration. Again illustration. Why he covers at the back of the class? To avoid the attention of the angry schoolmaster. Angry schoolmaster, जो नाराज होता है, खपा होता है school master. Yes, here you see the angry school master. Here Sika is personified, and the words angry school master used in a text. So it is an example of personification. Yes, again, the sun seizing the opportunity pushed the clouds away and crept out like a schoolboy. And came out like a schoolboy. Here again you see a simile. Pushed the sun seizing the opportunity, pushed the clouds away and crept like a schoolboy, quickly entering. So here again an example of an instance of a simile. Yes. Slowly the pale sun began to turn yellow. Now, by and by, the pale sun here means sun under clouds that appears pale. Slowly the pale sun began to turn yellow, and with that its light scattered in all directions. You see the sun under clouds, it now began to turn yellow. Its color got changed from pale to yellow. Oh, we see it is a change of tune or change of mood. And with that its light scattered in all directions. उसके साथ सूरज की जो रोशनी है ये बिखर गई, स्प्रेड हो गई in all directions, in all ways, हर तरफ. You know directions are six: above, below, right, left, front and back. So light it gets scattered in all directions. Seeing the light, the schoolmaster asked. When the schoolmaster saw the light, here light can also mean knowledge. When the schoolmaster saw the light, asked, where have you been all this while? Where were you all this time? Here while means time. यहाँ कितने टाइम कहाँ थे? इतने टाइम में आप कहाँ थे? Yes, dear students. Where have you been all this time? इस पूरे टाइम में आप कहाँ थे? Was your slate not clean? Was your slate not clean, or did you not get enough to eat? Or were you weak? Or you did not have strength? Or were you powerless or strengthless? Is this the time for the sun to rise? This sky scolded the sun. हाँ, is this the time for the sun to rise? क्या ये सूरज चढ़ने का तुलु होने का टाइम है? Now, close it down. By now the sun was shining in all its splendor. By now it is active grammatically it is adverb. It means at some time in the near past. It indicates the optimistic view. Optimistic view means where one has a hope or where one always sees the better side. It is opposite is pessimistic. By now the sun was shining in all its splendor. सूरज चमक रहे थे अपनी शान के साथ. Splendor means grace. It means also shine. It also means brightness. It answered proudly. Now the sun answered proudly. अब सूरज ने पूछा किसके साथ? Proudly. Proud means boldly and fearlessly. What he said, what is the point of getting annoyed? Oh Sikai, oh schoolmaster, what is the point of, what is the reason of, what is the meaning of? Here point means reason, meaning. और in Urdu we can say नुक्ता, नून की इफ्तिहा नुक्ता और बात. क्या बात है, क्या वजह है नाराज होने का? Annoyed means worried, annoyed means angry. There is no set time for the sun to rise. सूरज तुलु होने का कोई मुकर्रर सेट टाइम मीन्स फिक्स्ड टाइम, कोई मुकर्रर वक्त नहीं. Whenever it rises, जब कभी भी सूरज चढ़ता है, that is sunrise. वही sunrise है. If you look from the word the sun was shining all splendor up to lost, that is sunrise. It is an extended metaphor. Extended metaphor means extended metaphor means a metaphor that continues the following coming sentence. तो इसका क्या काम होता है? ये डेवलप करता है ग्रेट लैंग्वेज. ग्रेट लैंग्वेज occurring frequently in or throughout a verb. जो पूरा पैसेज होता है या सेंटेंस उसमें पूरा ये होता है, ये कंटिन्यू होता है. ये हुआ so from the line the sun was shining in all splendor up to that is sunrise. It is an example of, it is an instance of extended metaphor. Yes students. I can hint you about P.B. Shelley. P.B. Shelley, his ode to the west, ode to the wind, ode to the west wind. Yes, he says, what he says, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? Yani in Kashmiri we say, Vanda Salih, Sheen Gali be Bahar. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? It means there is no fixed time to learn. Learning के लिए जो लर्निंग है ये नूर है, और एजुकेशन जो ये नूर है, लाइट है, इसको हासिल करने के लिए कोई भी मुकर्रर टाइम नहीं है. Now let us try to understand. Now let us try to understand try to attempt the following questions. The sun is compared to cataract because, yes, option second, it is not clear, it is covered by clouds. Second, why was sky thundering? Sky was because it was angry. Who was it angry with? It was angry with the sun coming out of the clouds slowly. What does the poet compare the sun to it as it comes out from clouds? Yes, जब ये क्लाउड से बाहर आता है तो it compares to cataract. Who questions the sun? The school master. Sikai questions the sun. Why? Because sun has risen late. What is the sun Reply. The sun's reply is there is no fixed time for sun to rise. Uh, Now, what adjective would you use to describe the sun when it emerges from behind the clouds? Adjectives can be tremulous, cowering, trembling, nervous, frightened. Now, adjectives when it is shining up in all its splendor, arrogant, proud, impertinent, saucy, glorious. Yes. Uh, Now, poetic techniques. Assembly is a figure of speech in which one thing is compared with another, always using as or like. Now, the simile is used in the poem. The sun descending like. The sun descending like a cataract in the eye of the sky. Likewise, another simile is uh, pushed the clouds away and crept out like a schoolboy quickly entering. Yes, in poetry, a metaphor is an expression which describes a person or object in literary way by referring to something that is considered or possesses similar characteristics to the poem or to the person or object you are trying to describe. Now, we have here in extended, we have here extended metaphor. Extended metaphor is a metaphor that continues in the following sentences. Following sentence means that sentence come after the sentence, particular sentence. Identify metaphor in the sunrise. It is an extended metaphor. Yes, the metaphor is the sun was shining all its splendor. It answered proudly, what is the point of getting annoyed? There is no set time for the sun to rise. Whenever it rises, it is sunrise. So it is an extended metaphor. Now reference to the context. The sun was descending like a cataract in the eye of the sky. Up to it was thundering in anger. What time the day is being described? Yes, it is late afternoon. How do you know? Because sun was coming down. It was going to set. Which figure of speech is being used here? The sun was descending like a in the, it is a simile. Third, why is the sky angry? Sky is angry on the late appearance of the sun. What does it express in? How does it express anger? By thundering. By now the sun was shining all in the splendor. It answered proudly. Up to whenever it rises, that is sunrise. Explain the significance of the phrase by now. You know, by now it is in adverb. It means at some time in the near past. In the near past. It signifies the optimistic view of the poetess. How is the sun different from what it was earlier in the poem? Yes, now the sun is in its full glory and brightness. At the start of the poem, it was hidden under clouds. Who was getting annoyed and why? The sky was getting annoyed. Why is it? Because the sun appeared late. What quality of sun is reflected in these lines? The quality of sun reflected in these lines is proud, being proud and dominant. It shows the proud and dominant attitude of the sun. Of the sun. Yes, dear students, some new words for you. Descending. Descending means going to set. Cataract in eye disease when a person cannot see clearly or correctly. In Urdu or Hindi, it is called motiabind. Splashing, it means falling. Drenched, it means wet. Forlorn means lonely and sad. Yes, students. Thundering in anger, it means making noise to show its anger. Seizing, it means catching or taking. Crept out, it means came out or emerged. Cowring, cowering, cowering means shrinking in fear. Evade, evade means avert or avoid. Scattered, scattered means spread. By now, as adverb, it means at some time. It indicates the optimistic view. It shows someone who is need, who is hopeful. Splendor. Splendor means grace, shine, or brightness. Proudly. Proudly means boldly and fearlessly. And there is set time, or it means fixed time. Point. Point means point means meaning or reason, or in Urdu nukta ya baat. Nukta ya baat. Hope you hope you have understood the point. If any points you can raise your hands and ask me. Yes, dear students. Yes, dear students. Yes. Example of personification is the sun. It personifies the student. Sky. Uh, Sky. It personifies school master. So the sun is treated as the school boy and Sky the school master. You know what is personification? Personification means when an object is given attribute of human beings. Human beings. The Sika is personified as schoolmaster who questions the sun as it has risen rather late in the afternoon. Examples of symbols. The sun, oh, the sun, it symbolizes the schoolboy. Sky, it symbolizes the schoolmaster. Thunder, it symbolizes anger, or anger is symbolized by thunder. Cataract, it shows the invisibility of the sun due to clouds. Yes, students, I feel today it is enough, and you would have got me.